If you're the sort of person who's afraid to ask what all those numbers and letters mean on your tyres, then this is a video for you. Keep watching. Morning everyone, it's Nige from Bentley On A Budget, and today we're getting down to some nitty gritty about the black rings that keep your car on the road. Now on a Bentley Continental, these aren't just strips of rubber. They're vital, expensive, and tell you a lot if you know how to listen. We're going to demystify all of these numbers and letters, and talk about proper tyre care and wear patterns and what they tell you about your car and how it's set up, and actually try to make your tyres last longer and save you some extra bucks in the meantime. So, deciphering the sidewall, your car's ID card. Right, let's start with the basics. Take a gander at your tyre's sidewall. You'll likely see the name like Pirelli P Zero, a common high performance tyre that's commonly used on this car. Then comes a string of numbers and letters. Something like, in this case, 235, 35R20, 102Y run flat. Let's break it down. So, 235. That's the tyre width in millimetres from one side to another. The wider the tyre, the more grip, but obviously the less fuel economy. 35 is the aspect ratio of profile height. So it's the percentage of the width of the tyre. So 35 is pretty low profile. Makes the car look nice and it sits a little bit lower on the road, but that's at the expense of certain amounts of comfort and cushion. The R just stands for radial. There used to be things called cross plies back in the day, but now they're nearly all radial tyres. Radial bands of steel go around the tyre. 20 is simple enough. You've heard about 20-inch wheels. Well, these are tyres for a 20-inch wheel. Simple as that. 102, this is a load index. It's not obvious. You need to check it, Google it somewhere, but load index of 102 gives you a safe weight category of about 850 kilos, which is about right for a car that weighs 2¼ tons. Y, this is the speed rating, and a rating of Y means it's good for up to 186 miles an hour. And obviously this car was capable of doing nearly 200, but it's very unlikely that I'm not going to do those sorts of speeds in it. Run flat, this is a key one. What this means is the car is designed to have extra reinforced sidewalls, meaning that if you do get a puncture, you're okay to go about 50 or 60 miles per hour for a short period of time to go and get it repaired. Very handy, but pricier, and they do give you a firmer ride. You'll also notice a 4-digit code. This tells you the week and year the tyre was made. Now this is really important for checking tyres, especially if you're in the market for a new car and the tyres look in really good condition. But if they're above 10 years old, they definitely need changing, and even 6, 7 or 8 year old, if they haven't been driven a lot, can start to crack. Now on to the simplest, if most overlooked aspect of tyre care, tyre pressure. Your GT will have recommended pressures on a sticker inside the driver's door pillar, and sometimes in the boot, but definitely in the driver's handbook. You should check your tyres once a month. Because these are run flats, it's not always apparent that you've got a low pressure situation, and don't rely on your TPMS system. You know, it's better to check yourself and be absolutely certain. Electronic things can go wrong, and that can mean giving you a false reading that makes it dangerous or expensive to repair your car. Key issues with tyres is underinflation and overinflation. Underinflation is obviously where you haven't got enough pressure in your tyres, and this causes the outer edge of the tyre to make more contact with the road than the inner, and this leads to uneven wear and an early replacement. Overinflation inflation is nearly as bad, but it does actually reduce your road's grip of the tyres, and it wears out in the central zone of your tyre. A good quality tyre pressure gauge is worth its weight in gold, and it's not that expensive. TPMS is great, but nothing really beats a manual check. Reading the tea leaves, woo! What tyre wear can tell you about your car. So your tyres are like an open book, telling you about your car's health. Different wear patterns can flag up issues with other components. As we've already mentioned, wear on the outside edges of your tyre would suggest that you've got a low pressure situation. Get them topped up before it's too late. It's as simple as that. Don't be tempted to overinflate it to get the use out of the centre of the tyre and make it even. You've made the mistake, now just live with it. Wear in the centre, as we've said, is because it's overinflated, but one of the more significant and serious consequences of this is that there's less of your tyre on the road. So please be aware of that. Wear on just one edge, in or outer, this points to wheel alignment issues where you've got negative camber or too much positive camber for all that. Your wheels are basically not pointing straight or they're not plumb up and down. You need to get wheel alignment done. We recommend once every 12 months. It's a full wheel alignment, so it's a bit more expensive, but it's not as expensive as 11 or 1200 quid on new tyres every couple of years. Scalloping or cupping, this is uneven wear patterns. It's typically a sign of some failure of your suspension system, causing bouncing, causing the tyres to leave the road, bang back down again in a certain spot, and it creates this bald patch, if you like. Obviously, get your suspension system checked out if that starts to be a problem. Feathering. One side of the tread block is higher than the other. Another common alignment issue, often related to toe-in settings. Pay attention to these early signs and it can save yourself a lot of money on replacement tyres too early. So how can we make these magnificent Pirelli P Zero run flat tyres last longer and deliver more safety for us? Well, number one, regular tyre pressure checks every month I would recommend. Wheel alignment and balancing, again, every year. It's maybe a bit of an expense, but it's definitely worth it. Tyre rotation, have you considered moving the tyres around the car? Now bear in mind that these tyres have an outside edge and an inside edge, so be sure that if you're rotating them, you're leaving them on the wheel, and then you'll know if you've got it right. Driving style, very simple, but if you drive more smoothly with less harsh acceleration and going steady through corners and braking in time so that you're not having to skid to a halt, it's all good news for your rubber. Clean your wheels. This is really a tyre thing, but honestly, if you let that brake dust build up on your lovely alloys, it's going to be a nightmare to get it off, especially when it bakes in place. There's a variety of cleaning products out there designed specially for alloy wheels, and let's face it, it looks nice. A visual inspection is an important thing. Obviously, it's part of the MOT, but a lot can happen between cup and lip. And if you curb your car slightly or go over a pothole, it's definitely worth just checking for bulges, splits, and of course for tyre wear. Check your tyre depth. A tyre depth gauge is a relatively inexpensive thing, and it won't take you long to feel confident about the condition of your tyres right across the width. As a final thought though, looking after your tyres isn't just about saving money. You know, it's just a bit of a bonus that you can. It's really about safety and performance and reliability of your car. These are very heavy things, and in the wrong hands or badly maintained can be lethal, and the results can be disastrous. So look after your tyres. Remember, it's the only thing keeping you off the road. If you found this useful, please hit the like button.